Helping Students Achieve Biliteracy by Amy Dominguez. Student History. The student I will be talking about is currently a fourth grader. My student has been in dual language classes since he was in kindergarten. My student comes from a bilingual home where both mom and dad speak English and Spanish. And my student currently has two teachers. One is me, and I teach the Spanish portion, and the other one is my partner, and he teaches the English portion of dual language. My student also receives 50% instruction in Spanish and 50% instruction in English per day. Spanish sample. The following is the Spanish sample that I was able to get from my student. As you can see, my student has problems identifying the ñ in Spanish. Every time that my student tries to write montaña, he writes it with an NI instead of an ñ and an A. So he definitely needs support with the not so common sounds from Spanish to English. A couple of other mistakes that I was able to see are the capital letters and this word right here, poisonous. I see that my student was trying to use code switching to see what was the translation from poisonous in English to poisonous in Spanish. Since he didn't know what it was, he used the word poisonous instead of venenosas. So he just needs a little bit of support as well here in the code switch and identifying the correct translation between English and Spanish words. English sample. This is the English sample that I was able to get from my student. And some of the most common mistakes that I was able to see are like in the word different, where my student forgot to put an E between the F and the R because he was listening to the sounds and the word different has a silent E. So my student wrote it as it is sound, but he did forgot to put an E there. So he does need support with those silent E's. Also the word ecosystem. This is a big word for a fourth grader, and I am happy that he was able to include it here. He did spell it out correctly, but the good thing is that he was able to use it in a sentence. Other common mistakes that I see, just like in Spanish, capital letters and capital letters over here. But mostly I do not see any code switching between English to Spanish or Spanish to English. The whole sample is completely in English. Biliteracy development. Through the dual language program and for what I can tell from my students' writing, I can see that my student development in literacy and biliteracy has been good. My student has minor orthographic mistakes in both English and Spanish, and dual language program has helped my student become strong in both languages. To strengthen my students' knowledge of Spanish, I will have to explain and review the rules in the Spanish language. I will review the ch, y, ny, r sounds. And I also noticed that my student has problems identifying some of these sounds in his writing because these sounds are not transferable from Spanish to English. According to BMAM 2013, teachers should also understand every aspect of the Spanish language to better assist and plan for instruction to help students with their Spanish. Strengthen English. I do notice that in my student's English writing, he does have problems identifying the silent E, especially because this is not transferable from English to Spanish. I do believe that he will benefit a lot from a review on the silent E in English, and I will have him listen to the sounds whenever he is writing. That way he can identify the correct sounds and he will be able to write with more proficiency in English. What is biliteracy? According to Escamilla et al., 2014, biliteracy is the ability to read, write, speak, and negotiate life in more than one language. Biliteracy is very beneficial and more American schools and schools all over the world are trying to implement biliteracy to help students succeed. Different perspectives and definitions of biliteracy. Dominguez et al. 2020 state that biliteracy is the ability to speak, read, write, and understand two different languages. Their article is based on the perspective of different teachers and how they view biliteracy. The teachers who grew up to be bilingual and biliterate remember the important part Spanish play in their path to grow up bilingual and biliterate. Bauer, 2012, addresses the negative perspective that some parents may have towards biliteracy and how they believe it is not useful to teach their child or children two languages. Research has shown that children as young as 3 years old can differentiate between two languages and are not confused by both languages. Various components of biliteracy. Escamilla et al. 2014 discussed the different components of biliteracy, including oracy, which is the development of oral skills. In Literacy Square, when teaching reading, the teachers can use a variety of reading skills and strategies, which are foundational reading skills, reading comprehension skills, comprehension strategies, and reading different texts. There are also many other strategies such as interactive read alouds, share reading, collaborative reading, teacher-led small groups, and independent reading, which are all very extremely helpful to the development of reading and biliteracy. Writing is one of the most difficult components of biliteracy and it lacks of research. Therefore, it is hard to understand how to teach writing in both languages. Although many of the students use code switching when writing in either English or Spanish, and also research has shown that students learn writing in English or in Spanish at different rates, not at the same. Teachers can also use a variety of strategies to teach writing and to better make students understand writing. Some of these approaches or strategies are model writing, share writing, collaborative writing, independent writing, and the dictado, which is a writing method intended for use in both Spanish literacy and literacy-based ELD. Mental language is also a component of biliteracy, and it is very important because it is the way that students think and talk about languages. It's the way of understanding how languages work and how to use language appropriately in either English or Spanish. Influence in the pedagogy of biliteracy. It is also important to use the Literacy Square lesson plan template to better prepare the lessons for biliteracy. Standards and literacy objectives are also necessary. It is important to connect literacy and cross-language strategies. ROC objectives are also very important. And it is important for teachers to plan for appropriate assessments in either English or Spanish. These are my references. Thank you.